You can download all lecture handouts from the course website.
Leading scientists speculate that numerous planets can support life forms.
The number of company bankruptcies skyrocketed in the third quarter.
Eating too much can lead to many health problems.
Essays with few or no citations will raise the concern of the lecturers.
Fishing is a sport and a means for surviving.
Please sort and order the slides of the presentation according to your topic and speech time.
You need to read the chapter before the management class.
Applicants for the course should preferably have a degree in English or journalism.
In the 1880s, cycling became a major phenomenon in Europe.
Contemporary commentators dismissed his idea as eccentric.
This is Hans Krebs, who in 1937 published a paper showing the sequence of chemical reactions by which energy is released in individual cells. It's called the Krebs cycle, which some of you may remember from your chemistry course in high school. Krebs is a wonderful example to me of how a scientist who is determined can overcome all kinds of human obstacles. Krebs' father constantly discouraged him and told him that he had just mediocre intelligence and would never do anything important in his life as a teenager. What Krebs remembers in his memoir, his father said to him, "You can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear." And later on, when Krebs studied with the great biochemist Otto Warburg, Warburg also told him the same thing, not the same quotes, but that he had only mediocre ability and would never be a great scientist. And we all hear about how important it is for parents to encourage their children, but sometimes the children will go on to do great things no matter what we say to them.
If your recruiting efforts attract job applicants with too much experience, a near certainty in this weak labor market, you should consider a response that runs counter to most hiring managers' motto: don't reject those applicants out of hand. Instead, take a closer look. New research shows that overqualified workers tend to perform better than other employees, and they don't quit any sooner. Furthermore, a simple managerial tactic, empowerment, can mitigate any dissatisfaction they may feel. The prejudice against too good employees is pervasive. Companies tend to prefer an applicant who is a perfect fit over someone who brings more intelligence, education, or experience than needed. On the surface, this bias makes sense. Studies have consistently shown that employees who consider themselves overqualified exhibit higher levels of discontent. For example, overqualification correlated well with job dissatisfaction in a 2008 study of 156 call center reps by Israeli researchers Saul Fine and Baruch Nevo. And unlike discrimination based on age or gender, declining to hire overqualified workers is perfectly legal. But even before the economic downturn, a surplus of overqualified candidates was a global problem, particularly in developing economies, where rising education levels are giving workers more skills than are needed to supply the growing service sectors. If managers can get beyond the conventional wisdom, the growing pool of too good applicants is a great opportunity. Viren Erdoğan and Talia N. Bauer of Portland State University in Oregon found that overqualified workers' feelings of dissatisfaction can be dissipated by giving them autonomy in decision-making. At stores where employees didn't feel empowered, overeducated workers expressed greater dissatisfaction than their colleagues did and were more likely to state an intention to quit. But that difference vanished where self-reported autonomy was high.
Straight salary sales compensation plans aren't very common, but they do have a place in some organizations. With this type of structure, you'd pay your salespeople a straight, albeit competitive salary, like all of your other employees and nothing else. No bonuses, no commissions, and few, if any, sales incentives. This type of compensation plan is most often used when the industry you operate within prohibits direct sales. When salespeople work as part of a small group or team and all contributions are equal, when your sales team is relatively small, or when your salespeople are expected to spend much of their time on other responsibilities other than selling. However, these plans don't tend to offer motivation to salespeople, as there are no incentives for them to work harder. Salary plus commission sales compensation plans are possibly the most common plans used today. They're structured in a way that salespeople receive a lower base salary along with commission pay that makes up the majority of the total compensation. Organizations use salary plus commission sales compensation plans when there are opportunities to support all salespeople on this structure and when there are proper metrics in place for tracking sales to ensure that the splits are fair and accurate. This type of plan is often the better choice as opposed to straight salary because it offers motivation to increase productivity and to achieve goals. It also offers more stability. Sales people will still get some type of pay even if they're in training. When sales are low during certain months or if market conditions get volatile. However, it can be more complex to administer. Commission-only sales compensation plans are exactly what they sound like. You pay your salespeople for the sales they bring in and nothing else. There is no guarantee of income. These types of plans are easier to administer than salary plus commission and provide better value for your money, paid as they are based solely on sales achieved. They also tend to attract fewer candidates, but do attract the most top performing and hardest working sales professionals who know they can make a good income because they know how to sell. On the other hand, though, they can create aggression within your sales team and low income security, which can lead to high turnover rate and sales rep burnout from stress.
What's the verb used to describe two people sharing the same opinion? What kind of food that vegetarians do not eat? What do you call a student that has finished his first year of college? Which word can describe moving a file from the internet to your computer? How would you describe an animal that no longer exists on the earth? In statistics, what is a circle divided into many parts called? What do these following describe? Kilogram, pounds, and tons. What do you call an individual musical performance? What kind of animal is a butterfly? What are the things that you touch with your left hand when you play a guitar? How would you describe the process in which ice becomes water? How many years are there in a millennium?